Hello guys and welcome to the video. So today we are here in Epic 7 and we got quite a bit of stuff to talk about. So I made a big decision the other day and I had reset my account. So you see at the top left, I actually have a name that has capital letters this time. And my rank is lower because again I had reset my account. Now the reason I had done this is because of a YouTuber called Deity and a guide that he's been posting, and I think his guide is so good that I decided that I wanted to follow along with his guide. Now, for a bit of context, a couple days ago, I don't know how many days exactly, probably 7-8 days ago, about 7 days ago, yeah. One of you guys in the comments had suggested for me to look at a YouTuber called Deity, which again, I'm going to be leaving a link to his channel, by the way, in the description, because if we're going to be talking about this guy, I feel like it's only right that I leave his channel link, right? So you guys will be able to go to his channel and subscribe to the guy. So I went to go watch a Deity because one of you guys suggested it. He is making a new player guide, yada yada, and I went and looked, and I thought that it was one of the best new player guides that I've actually ever seen in most games, nonetheless Epic 7, because the way he does his guide is the way, that I think a perfect guide should go, right? You tell people how to do something, and then you tell people what to do, and then you tell them why they're doing it, right? So, for example, if I tell you, for another game I play is Summoner's War, right? If I tell you that Lucian, the Wind Joker, you should use it in Giants because he's good, fine, you can get him and you might succeed. But if you run into a problem with and it pertains to Lucian, and Lucian is the one failing, you have no idea how to fix it because I didn't tell you. All I did was tell you, yeah, he's a good unit. That's it. I didn't tell you how to fix any problems that you might have or anything like that. But if I tell you, hey, here's Lucian, he's a really good unit in here, and this is why he works, and this is how he works. This is what you want to focus on, again, relating to this character. That helps not only you, but new players, right? So new players, when they run into a problem, they remember, hey, yeah, this is how he works. This is why he works. So, of course, he does that in his guide, and that tends to make his videos pretty long, but I think it's completely worth it when it comes down to making guides. Like when it comes down to making guides, and even if your video has to be an hour long, hey, you went into detail. You're not going to really have to explain that thing again. So I liked it, and again, I'm deciding to follow along with Deity and play alongside his guide. And believe it or not, the guide has helped me in more ways than just helping build an account. It's helped in communication and just overall enjoyment of the game. So, which we're going to be talking about in this video. So in this video, I want to talk about 3 things, and I'll show you guys through my account, obviously, about this guy's guide. And from there, we'll call it, right? So that I will say that this is why I haven't been uploading Epic 7 the last few days. I was going to even make a RAM video, which I will still try to put out eventually, but it's been pushed back a little bit. But the reason I haven't uploaded is because I reset my account and been following along, going down to the dot, not wasting any resources. And until I get to a point where I could start sparing resources, I don't want to move away from that, So I thought at the very least we'd do this video. So the 3 things I want to talk about are characters, like units you might use, pets, and then guilds. So going into characters, the characters was one of the more interesting, or one of the most, but not the most interesting parts of his guide, where the units that he recommends were quite a bit different from what I saw from most other players. Like when I watched a couple YouTubers, they're like, hey, use this team. So a team that I was recommended was, what was it? It was Angelic, Montmorency, Furious, Cigarette, and then Alexa. And then somebody else told me, hey, actually use Mui instead. And I got Mui and I used him. And then people were like, oh, take Alexa out and put Furious because of the crit rate and all that stuff. And it's just, those were the general teams. But his team is a bit different, it seems. Now, again, I haven't watched every single video. I'm still going through all of them. It's a lot of time to, his videos, again, are very long. But, so it's like I have limited time throughout the day. So I don't get to watch every single one. And I have to go back to some old videos sometimes to get information again. Like for the Heart of Orbuses and all that stuff. But, it's a really easy team to take. I think it's pretty easy to figure out what team he's going to use. So for units that he's going to use, I'm assuming he's using where are they? Crozet as the front tank, the Terranor Guard as a damage dealer / defense breaker / combat readiness manipulator, Mui as a defense breaker and debuffer and big damage, and then Sigret as well. So, like, from the get-go, you notice that you lose a healer. And he goes, in the guide, he goes into detail why you take out the healer. And he will explain it way better, but if I had to remember it, if I had to try to say it again, he goes as to, hey, if the healer's just healing itself, it makes the runs longer, and you don't want the runs to be longer. You want to, essentially, you want to spend as little time in the game as possible. So if your healer's just sitting there healing itself for like 2 minutes when the run was supposed to be a loss or was supposed to be a win or whatever, then it's just wasting your time, which is true. And I have noticed that on my old account where everyone would die and then Montmorency's just sitting there healing herself endlessly, and it's just insane and it takes forever. So things like that I noticed was a big difference from the guide. Another thing was summoning. So when you summon in the game, usually when you start a gacha game like this, you're more likely to summon on a lot of these banners. So you'll go up to a banner and you'll spend any summons you get straight off the bat. And here he tells you, hold off, right? Hold off. You're going to aim for Tamarin, or you're going to aim for a different unit. And he gives you the reason. So in this way, that's why I think it's interesting, because again, any game I would have started, I would have instantly went to summoning like a limited time unit. But in here, he's like, you will get it eventually. You won't even be able to use it, which is kind of true, right? Like in games like Summoner's War, when someone gets a Transcendent Scroll or whatever, and they summon a Nat 5, it's like, cool, you got one of the most OP Nat 5s in the game, but you as a new player can't even utilize the unit. Right? You can't throw equipment on it, you can't throw runes or whatever. You can't do nothing. It's going to sit in your monster storage for upwards of a year. So you might as well have not even gotten it till much later. So he makes that point, and then he tells you to summon for Tamarin. So you see I have 70 summons left. But I thought I just thought it was really interesting. But I completely agree with it. Again, he makes good points. Though moving on to the next thing is the pets. And I'll be honest, pets was something I was secretly suffering with in the background. I was like, I have no idea what to do with pets. And for experienced players, I'm sure they're like, oh, well, this is easy. Just do it like this. But for me, as a new player, it's just I had no idea what I was doing. So in his guide, he goes into pets and what you should be looking for. So for example, early on, this is kind of like the pet you would want, right? It gives you a chance to receive extra catalyst, rare catalyst, or I thought it was epic or rare, whatever, and then a chance to receive double AP. So I have 9%. So apparently this is really good, which I've noticed it's probably been really good. Let's see. Double AP. This is, I don't know if I've received double AP, but it looks good. It looks like it's going good. And then to save literally all the S's and A's and all that stuff. So pets has become overall much more easy to understand, right? It's easier for me to understand this thanks to him, which is why I'm talking about the guide today. So with all that aside, the actual thing I wanted to get into this video was communities and guilds. So he makes a point to talk about, or he talks about it in his video, talking about communities and guilds. And I don't know if, I'm not going to say that hit home, but I really thought that I was like, yeah, he's correct on this. Guilds and communities are super important. And he even makes a statement that communities and guilds are 50% of the game. And that seems kind of hypocritical coming from me. Like, if I were to say that, that'd be hypocritical because I'm a lurker. I sit in the game and I don't really look at the chat too often. But he is absolutely correct. So, just to give you guys a little bit of, not my past, but like the past me, is that back in the day, I used to chat in chat rooms all the time. Like, I used to be on Discord all the time. I'd be in the game chats all the time. And I'd be talking. And sometimes I'm in voice chats in Discord or even in the game talking to people because that's what made me enjoy the game. And I can't lie that when you're a part of a community, it makes you much more likely to actually play the game. I cannot deny that. So, for example, in Summoner's War, like even today, I'll get on and I'll be like, okay, well, there's nothing happening in the guild chat. I could see chat logs from almost a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, or even a month ago. It's dead. It's a dead guild. I'm only in it for a bit of the daily rewards, and I'll even forget sometimes to do my guild content because I forget the guild exists. I forget that I'm in a guild. So I'll come on, I'll do my dungeons, or for you guys, it would be probably like Wyvern, but I'm talking about Summoner's War, right? But it would be like, for this game, it'd be like, I'd come on, I'd do Wyvern, and then get off, right? I wouldn't do my guild content. I wouldn't do guild wars or nothing like that. So back in the past, that's exactly what I did for Summoner's War, and I still sometimes do it today, where I'll get on, I'll forget that I'm in a guild. I'll do my arenas, I'll do my giants or my dungeons that I need to farm for runes or equipment, and then I'll hop off. And it's just like, this hurts everybody, not just me. Not just them, but everybody. So, if you think about it, let's say you log on. You don't do any of your guild content, like your guild wars. So your guild ends up losing its battles because it has a person who has the attacker status, but they're not actually using their attacks. There's no damage being done to the enemy. So the enemy is winning. You don't get the reward. Your guild loses, so it doesn't get the winner's reward. It gets the loser's reward, which is probably like half of the resources, or even worse. For a game like this, you get aid. So it's like, oh, I've already done all my aids, I guess. But it's like you don't get any resources, right? No one's donating, no one's doing none of that stuff. You don't get any of these rewards, which these are important. You don't get any of these weekly missions. Again, everybody loses. And back in the day, when I was playing Summoner's War and I was actually active in the chats, every time I would get on, I was in an active guild back in the day, right? I'd get on, everybody's talking. One of the first things I'd do is I'd put my dungeon team to start farming, and I'd go immediately to like places like Labyrinth or Guild Wars or whatever in those games, right? And I'd complete those first. So I was always at the top. I was always getting tons of guild points, using them to get resources. But the instant I was entering guilds that were dead and they weren't talking, no one was talking, no one was communicating, I slowly stopped doing that. And eventually a day or two will go by where I'm not doing it, or even upwards of a week. Heck, I had one of them like randomly come on, hey, yeah, you need to do your guild content. You haven't done it in a week. I was like, oh crap, I forgot I was in a guild. I forgot I was here. So it really is a lot. And then he even talks about how it helps with the fun of the game, which is absolutely true. I remember back in the day, again, sitting in voice chats and talking with other players, theory crafting some builds. Hey, this unit might be better over this unit. I know the typical unit you might use is this one, but if you happen to summon this unit, why not use it over the other one, right? If you get what I mean, like that type of stuff. So that's what I would used to do. And then I would get on the game and it would incentivize me, because I thought, again, I was just having a good time. I would be incentivized to actually go and test that unit, thus making me work harder, making me be on the game be on the game more, and then just generally having more fun. So communities are a big part of the game. So he talks in his video about making multiple guilds, how he's going to make multiple guilds. I'm sorry with my speech. I know I'm terrible at speaking. But he's going to make tons of guilds and that for new players who need guilds, good guilds, that you could join his Discord and then enter through there, where they will find a guild for you. And you'll probably notice that, I don't know if this is the case with this guild, I don't know how to look it up, but these guilds will be private. So he privates them, so you have to join his Discord, which I think is a good thing. So random people aren't just, joining. You have to, be watching his videos, and you have to be dedicated to the game to actually play it, which is good. So you get online, and you get people like this, where today, everybody was requesting. Can I really not send them any? Jeez. But, everyone's requesting, everyone's progressing, and it's just more efficient overall for everybody. I'm not going to be leaving a link to his Discord in the description though, because I feel like it's better for you guys to go to his video and watch his video, so you guys understand that understand the rules that he has set for himself, and for you guys, and for all of us. But I will say, because of the guild and the whole requirements to speak and do Discord and all that, I've probably spoken on Discord. I've probably done more on Discord within the last day than I have done over the last few months. So, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a bit of fun. I'm actually really excited to get on this game. Like, I was so excited to get on this game today, and especially make this video. And then look at that. Look at my points. I'm at 100 of these armbands, whatever they are, and then these coins. Look at that. Apparently you're supposed to buy these things, but I'm going to hold off. It's like, look at all these resources. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video, at the very least. I totally love the guide. Again, his link is in the description. Click on that link. It'll take you to his channel. But I just wanted to make this video, at least updating you guys where I've been with Epic 7 content. I've just been focused on catching up again and all that stuff, but I decided, you know what, let me tell these guys what's happening. So I have restarted, and I'm sticking to his guide, and I can't wait to see how not only my account turns out, but how I turn out after learning more of the game. So if you've made it to this part, if you've managed to understand any of my mindless jabbering, then thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. By the way, thank you guys for 600 subs.